everybody. I'm Joe Puente. I'm the president and founder of the Utah Filmmakers Association. This is our first associate symposium. We are very grateful to our co-sponsors, DD Productions, and Cyclone Spuds, and Tiny Giant Pictures. And if I'm missing anyone, their picture is probably on the website. So very grateful for everyone, for everyone's input and participation to make this event happen. This is not a typical meeting. Somebody asked me this, and they're like, no, I don't do the networking thing. I said, this is not really a networking thing. If you happen to meet people here that you haven't met before, good for you. This is an invitation-only event for participants and vetted candidates of the Utah Filmmakers Associate Program. And we'll get a little more detail about what exactly that is and what we hope to accomplish. So, Utah Filmmakers was founded in 2002 in Sanpete County, Mount Pleasant, Utah. Now, remember where you were as filmmakers in 2002. Consider the tools that you were using, right? We're talking, what, mini DV? Yeah, maybe dreaming about getting that XL1. Rows and rows of mini DV tapes holding all your stuff. At the time, the financial barrier, the technological barrier, I should say, was starting to come down. This was at a point where Sundance was starting to get a majority of their submissions in digital format. My first submission to Sundance was a short film that was rejected. But I'm proud of it being rejected because they actually sent me a letter in the mail to tell me that I was rejected. I have it framed in my office. They do not send those out anymore. You find out if you got in when they announce the lineup and you don't see the project. And that's how it was remote. Anyways, when we were in Sanpete, we did a lot of community stuff, worked with a lot of kids, after school programs, high school workshops. We produced, of course, short films and what have you in the neighborhood. We did some good work producing programming for the local origination channel down there, Centricon Interactive's local Channel 10. And that was a show that we did called Section 1 TV, and it was basically I would go to local events, profile businesses and interview people and stuff. Did that for about a year. One-person operation, except for a short period when I had an intern. Oh, that was nice. I just had something. It was like I shot this a year ago. I haven't done anything with it. Knock yourself out. Okay, she was so excited. And one of the fascinating things about this industry is you never know who you're going to run into later. A few years later, I wound up auditioning for my former intern. And that was just a joy. I loved it. You never know who you're gonna run into. You never know who you're gonna need. Like I knew in 2014, I was desperately in need of an experienced assistant director for a short film. And the first person I thought of was the assistant director who fired me from the feature. I'm not going to hold grudges. He was doing his job, and he did it really well. I knew he was up to the task. So, you may have saw in our opening screen those are the core values of Utah Filmmakers, of the organization. They inform our code of ethics and conduct. The way it guides whenever people join our online forums, and it asks, hey, wait, you're all in the Utah Filmmakers group, right? Everybody's in the Utah Filmmakers group, right? Anyways, it says right there that professionalism is the first rule, and it's informed by our core values. And for all of our community members, because that's the way membership works in Utah Filmmakers. For a long time, Utah Filmmakers didn't have a formal membership structure. But as we started getting more traction and more activity in the Filmmakers group and developing it as a better resource for professionals, we basically came up with a breakdown. We have 3 classes of membership. We have community members, and community members are like basically, are you involved in filmmaking? Does it happen to be in Utah? Congratulations, you're a member. There are no dues. So, I'm willing to guess that most people are members that don't even realize it. Because I have people ask, how do I become a member? And it's like, in the group, movies, you're a member. Then we have our associate members. For community members, our core values and our ethics code is, these are guidelines, it's something to strive for. And the way they're written, they're applicable to any industry, really. To become an associate member, associates have to take it a little bit more seriously because associate members represent the organization itself. So to become an associate, you agree to abide by the code of ethics and conduct. And basically, it doesn't really demand too much. It's like if you know how not to be a jerk, you're good to go. But it's good stuff to read nonetheless, because it informs a lot of some of the things I'll be talking about tonight. The other class of members are the principal members, and these are leadership. These are board of directors, officers, presidents, VPs, the people who are on the paperwork with the state. So, moving right along. In 2009, I moved up here to Salt Lake City. Now, I was kind of burned out doing stuff for one, doing stuff on the way home. And while I was really proud of the work that we did with the high school students and our after-school program, it was just, I needed a break, but I also needed Utah Filmmakers to still do something. But I wasn't sure what it was going to do. And I did not, most importantly, I did not want to reinvent the wheel. If someone else was doing something better and they had established themselves and they had the resources and the tools to do it, oh my gosh, yes, do it. Let me help promote you. Spy Hot Productions. They got the kids taken care of. Thank goodness. Utah Film Center. They have got a lot of terrific professional training programs. Join their artist foundry. That's another reason why we do not ask members to pay dues. We want you to keep your money, invest it in your film, invest in a membership with the Utah Film Center, invest with the NPAU, join a union. We don't want to give you any reason not to do those things. So, in 2011, I got an idea to reboot my Section 1 TV show. Only I wanted to do it more seriously. I wanted to do it for real. I wanted it to be 2011. YouTube is still kind of finding its way, so I was still thinking television. I was thinking I'd like to produce something that's going to be on a local channel. And there were a few similar locally produced programs. At Your Leisure, Remember the one with the guy went around, the guy with the British accent? To make it happen, I had the concept, but I needed an experienced producer to help me develop it into something. So, somebody hit me up. They're like, hey, I can help you do this. Great, awesome, let's meet. He asked me, so, you own the chain of title, right? And I said, yeah, of course. And then as you know, looked up chain of title. It sounded like this guy knew what he was talking about. And I recognize this as an opportunity to really sink my teeth into the business, to do what I could to learn more about how film and television are supposed to be done, how the industry works, knowing that there are differences in the ways that they operate between working on feature films and working on television or working in the corporate sector. Throughout this whole time, I kind of divide my time between the nonprofit sector, running Utah Filmmakers, and moonlighting in the film industry, working either as an actor or crew or as a producer behind the scenes. And that's given me an interesting perspective on the industry. So as I'm learning as much as I can about television production, I'm speaking with lawyer friends who do a little bit of entertainment law, so I can learn about contracts and entertainment contracts and how those apply. Again, differences between television and movies, etc. And it was a terrific education, and through about a 6-month period, we were putting together this sizzle reel. And we had some pretty good footage, I think. In the end, during a couple of meetings with this person who said that they could help me out, at the end of those 6 months, I came to realize that he didn't know what he was talking about. He knew some industry jargon. He was very confident in his presentation. But the more I learned about how the job was supposed to be done, the more I saw that they weren't not just not following the rules, but acting as if those rules did not apply to them. And mind you, I'm not talking about conventions of the art form. I'm talking about rules like, paying people. This is an industry. The only way it can be an industry is if, it's actively incorporated into the economy. That means there has to be money involved. And like a lot of people I've run into, this person didn't take it seriously. And I had to move on. He presented me a deal memo where he wanted me to just transfer ownership of all my IP to him. He said it was the only way he could work on this, which I know is not true. And I just said, that's not. I still have Section 1 TV LLC, it's been sitting on the back burner. I got the renewal card in the mail for the company. I keep it alive in the hope that maybe someday it'll turn into a web series or something. I don't know. Now, when I look back at what happened, I'm reminded of Hamlin's razor. Most recently, I heard about this in reference to that submarine, that submersible that went to sink Titanic. Never attributed to malice, so is adequately explained by stupidity. I don't think that the person I was trying to work with was being malicious. I think they were trying to be a player. I don't think he was stupid, but he was definitely didn't know what he was talking about. And dealing with someone who's malicious is awful. Dealing with someone who's stupid is worse. I had a recent experience where I dealt with someone who was both malicious and stupid, and that's a deadly combination. You do not want to find yourself in that position. So, after that experience, I kept on doing my thing. The Utah Filmmakers group on Facebook was growing. When I joined it, there were around 2,000 members. I was invited to be in, I didn't even start it. Ben Hawker started the group in 2007, separate from the organization. I chose to stay in that one group because a couple of other groups had popped up, and it was just all the same people. So, but this was the original one, and it had the most members. And it was growing. And when Ben asked me to be an admin, the first thing I wanted to do was make the group as useful and as effective a resource as possible for the professionals. The group is open to beginners. Whether you're a real student or whether you are an enthusiast, whether you do the 48 or whatever, or you just like, make movies in your backyard, that's great. But we want the goal to be we want our beginners to become professionals. For those who really want to make it a career, we want to be able to help them do that. Let's check it out. Okay. A couple years later, I got a call from my friend Ben Buller, and he hired me to be an AD for some commercials for the state fair. So this Ben and me getting ready to drive to Vernal because they were having a fair, and all the fairs use the same rides and stuff. So we went there for B-roll. And on our way up there, Ben said to me, "Joe, you're in a really interesting position. You got one foot in the industry, and you got one foot in the community." And that's when it struck me. That was the thing that was confusing me. I would go and work on a set, and I'd see one group of people. I'd go to a local meet and greet, and I'd see a different group of people. There was very little crossover. Once in a while, I might see a familiar face. Either in extras holding or on the outskirts of a meet and greet. But for the most part, they were separate, and I hadn't put that together yet. So it was an epiphany for me to realize that there were two different things, and that's when I realized that is what Utah Filmmakers can do. Utah Filmmakers can be the bridge between the community and the industry. So we started focusing. I like to keep things simple on the website. I set up a bunch of subdomains that redirects to policy pages. If you want to know what the core values are, it's values.utahfilmmakers.org. Our ethics code, ethics.utahfilmmakers.org. Associates, for you guys, utahfilmmakers.org. I even have a few that go to other websites. I can never remember the URL for the crew directory for the film commission. And it's like, I could go to film.utah.gov, or I go to crew.utahfilmmakers.org. Those are the same place. This year, I said, I really need to stop holding up my punches as far as talking about what it means to be a professional. Not just in the film industry, but in any industry. And I started the beginning of the year with a blog post on the utahfilmmakers.org, the front page of the blog. By the way, if any of you would like to write to the blog, let me know. You want guest writers? I'd like some more guest writers. Anyways, the first one this year I talked about values and ethics. Talked about our core values and the ethics stuff. I talked over Labor Day weekend about how there is no value without labor. shared a story about my dad. A man with a 7th grade education, spoke English as a second language, and was a homeowner, and raised a family in Los Angeles. And you put those things together today, and it doesn't compute. But the reason he was able to do that was because he belonged to the union. So, focusing the efforts of Utah Filmmakers now. What do we do to help novice filmmakers, beginners, students, amateurs? It's not a bad word. We all start as amateurs. The question is, do you keep acting like an amateur after you get into these things? If you do, that can be problematic. Our main interface is the forum, the filmmakers group, the original group, first of its kind. 17,800 members, 200 or 300 of which are business entities. But I think the more important number that I like to focus on is the number of active users. And that's around 10,000, and that's still quite a bit more engagement with the community than any other online forum. And I credit that to the professionals in the group. Because we asked the professionals, what can we do to make this group more effective for you? And they told us. So all of the basic rules of the group and some of the policies that we have there, they're all informed by industry professionals. And the wonderful thing about it is that it's largely self-managed. All of the activity on there, it's impossible. We've got like maybe 10 moderators working, voluntarily and on off hours that we can't keep up with everything. But it's okay, because it runs incredibly smoothly. And I'm really grateful for that. The associate program, this touches on our mission of promoting and championing reputable resources. When people have bad experiences working with a producer who talks a lot, turns out they don't know exactly what they're doing, it can be frustrating. You learn some valuable lessons, but they're painful lessons. And you lose time. And it would be nice to know who to avoid. But every time someone says, there should be a blacklist, I'm like, no, there's not. You can't have a blacklist. No one's going to maintain a blacklist. And besides, it's the same dozen people or so. We all know who they are. And by the way, you may not know it, everybody in this room, you're already on somebody's blacklist. I don't know who, they probably don't remember why. So there's really no point. So a simple blacklist, I'm thinking, okay. You know what? People who are not professionals, people who don't bother to learn the best practices and industry standards, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're not going to get anywhere in their careers, and anyone who hitches onto their wagon is just going to go down with them. You know what? Let them. But why should we all suffer? The associate program is designed to identify Utah filmmakers that you should want to work with. Utah filmmakers who believe and follow the core values of professionalism, integrity, and respect. I'm not going to touch on Utah Filmmakers Resource. It's still a project in development. Section 1 Entertainment is our subsidiary. That is part of our mission of promoting collaboration because it's our production arm. That's how we make movies. That's why whenever someone comes up in the group and says, hey, I'm doing a nonprofit movie, I'm like, there's no such thing as a nonprofit movie. There's unprofitable movies, no doubt. But Utah Filmmakers, Section 1 is basically a DBA of Utah Filmmakers. Utah Filmmakers is a tax-exempt nonprofit. That does not mean that we can ask people to volunteer their time and talent to make a movie. Because filmmaking is not volunteer work. And since it's part of our mission to promote the industry and economic development, you know, we're going to pay. On the rare occasions when we have enough money to do the project. So, let's see. In the last year or so, I've been working on a strategic plan moving forward. We had a cool 20th anniversary celebration in 2022. Got a bunch of local businesses to donate some cool products and services, gave away a couple of drones. It was pretty awesome, and it was so exhausting. And I realized, I think with what I want to accomplish with Utah Filmmakers moving forward, you know, for the most part, I'm still operating, and it's just me. You know, I meet with my board once in a while, you know. Mostly, we were talking about this earlier, mostly it's like a consent, no objection, no, I don't have an objection, but motion carries. I think people want to give plenty of work, courtesy call. But what we're going to be looking for this year, starting this year, are some new officers. We are going to be having looking for some new board of directors. Not a big board. We want to keep it simple. Only even Ben Hawker, the guy who started the Facebook group, he's not really in the industry anymore. But I asked him to be on the board because he started the group. He's like, I don't know if I can do anything. I said, you'll be an emeritus board member. You don't have to do anything. Don't worry about it. But we could use some new blood in the board. So, what the new board members would need to do would be to help us consider new officers, other people who could be in leadership positions. We do need executive assistants. I'd like to find someone, more importantly, find resources to pay someone to manage the associate program. We need a community liaison manager, someone with experience in volunteer coordination. I mentioned resource manager. This is UtahFilmmakers.com site that I touched on. If you go there, basically it has a few links. It has some paperwork that you can download, templates for things like deal memos and release forms, and a lot of the due diligence that, is so boring. But guess what? If you don't have it, your film is not going to be distributed, or at least it will not be distributed the way you want it to. Another option that I'm thinking about is for Utah Filmmakers to become a subsidiary of a larger existing organization. The bulk of the work that I do is really community outreach, so it could easily fall under the auspices of that mission with another organization. And also haven't been much in the way of a fundraiser. The films that we've produced, funded from the work I did on other films. I'm in an interesting position as a disabled veteran to have an income that allows me to have a life, have a house, have a place to live, food on the table, take care of my family, and it allows me to do this and to moonlight in the film industry the filmmakers, professional filmmakers. But apart from that, yeah, I'm not very good at the fundraising thing. I get asked every now and then, oh man, I get dragged and screwed every time. So, I guess that's the gist of it. I guess we'll open it up to questions. Who has questions? Everyone's got questions. I'll take about anything's on the table. Oh, stand up at once. I do like to ask anything live video group. I've considered that. Maybe we should do that. Oh, Alicia, yes.
What kinds of blog posts are you going to be looking for?
Oh, okay. What kinds of blog posts? Well, kind of like the filmmakers group. Is it film related in Utah? Yeah, blog posts, something like that. So that's the beauty of it. As well, about it, people don't realize how flexible the on-topic rule is in the filmmakers group. Because I have people ask me, is it okay if I post? Yes, it's film. Yes, do it. But I like to give other examples. I'll be like, no, you cannot sell your used car. You can sell a functional picture vehicle. No, you cannot sell your old TV, but you can sell an HD monitor. So, yeah, there's always, even if it's just tangentially related to film, it's like, oh, that's a pass. Okay, you got it. Some people get really creative. I'll usually comment on that. Well done. Any other questions? Michelle?
And what about promoting the films? Is there somewhere in there, like when there's an independent film coming out of it?
Promoting the film. That's one of the things I love about it. One of the things I noticed about some Facebook groups, not even just on any topic, some of them actively discourage self-promotion. And that's no fun. We advocate use periodically of the hashtag shameless plug. And it can be for anything. It can be for you. And if you've got a reel you want to share, you got some downtime, you're looking for work, share your reel. Shameless plug. Let people know you're available, show them what you can do. Whether you're a cinematographer, actor, whatever. You've got a film coming up. Facebook has recently added a really cool feature. Because before the rules used to say, hey, if you're going to promote something, let an admin know so that we can put it in the feature post on top. Well, now, if you share an existing public Facebook event in the group, it automatically gets added to the upcoming events post, which is pinned at the very top of the group. Another thing that you can do, again, this is especially beneficial for our business members. And I'm not just talking about our rental houses and production companies. We are all, even as individuals, we are all in this business. You have something to share. You have maybe some tips. Maybe you want to do a Q&A. Maybe you want to talk to someone, have a discussion about your particular field. Maybe you have questions. Maybe you have knowledge to share that you'd like to share. There's a post among the featured posts right now in the group that talks about all of the cool things that you can do when you go to make a post. That's it. What's on your mind? And then it's like, what would you like to add? My video. Okay. Yeah, I can do a video. Yeah. You can create an event within the group. That's, it's kind of fun. It's just for the group, right? The largest group. 17,000 people. And it can be online or in person or both. Anybody can do that within the group. Everyone's able to do that just as as members. Members have all these tools available to them. And I love seeing people make use of them. I wish more people would. And remember that flexibility. Hey, if it's tangentially related to filmmaking in Utah, go for it. No permission. Any other questions? Any answers?
You rock, Joe.
Thank you.
You're the best.
I try. I want to highlight some of our guests here. Like I said, this was an invitation-only event. I think we may have had one or two crashers, but I thought, oh, that's cool. We've got representing the. I always say IOPSI. I see it. I say it as a word. Is that appropriate or not?
Yes.
It is? Okay, we have represented from IOPSI Local 99.
Yes, correct.
That is the local union for your crew people. Do not believe the myth that you're not allowed to join a union because of you are in a right to work state. That's not what that is. They just want to confuse you and make it difficult. I want to encourage people to become unionized. I want to see all the actors and crew in Utah join the union out of spite to the Capitol Hill. It's like, oh, yeah, you want your right to work state? Yeah, well, we'd like a livable wage. Just out of curiosity, has anyone else been experiencing like an existential crisis this year? It's not just me, right?
It's not.
Okay. Between the strikes and everything going on, it's still. We also have a new organization. Tell me again the name of it.
We're with the Documentary Association, so a collaboration of full-time working documentarians and Boston.
Documentary Association?
Documentary.
Documentary Association.
Utah Documentary Association.
Okay, you know what? Like we were talking about this earlier. Give them a plug in the group. Oh my gosh, Brandy, you're so awesome.
You know me.
She served dessert. Again, provided by Cyclone Spuds. I think that started out as a food truck, and the name was so cool. That's really great. Alrighty. Well, I don't want to make this go on and on. So I want to thank you all for coming. This will be online for people who weren't able to make it. Or share it in the group. Too, I think Daniel, you'll polish it up, right? You'll smooth it out with little live bumps. That's all your fun time. And again, let's see what we got. Oh, okay. We still got plenty of time to hang out and chat and have some food and take some pictures in front of our lovely celebrity. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Yeah, especially when we were already on that. You're like, is it really going to look as good as this email? This logo and this JPEG? It's even better. So, anyway, thank you all for coming. And, another question, yes.
So they actually really found out from another life. But, and that's the thing like Alicia, I don't know if you guys know. But there's a grant you can get for $500 to put towards if you're going to do a premiere at Larry Miller Theater. And they'll give it, and nobody's applying for it.
Will you repeat that in the microphone,
There's a grant you can get through the Film Commission. It's a $500 grant. Blake Emerson, he's one of the heads of Larry Miller Theater. He actually, I wouldn't have met with him. He told me all about it. He said, so you just have to apply for it. And what it does is they'll basically give you $500 towards your theater rental for your premiere.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
any venue essentially. You just gotta prove that, you've got the logos and the stuff in your feed and
Okay.
that you're representing them and having their little
You know,
video at the beginning.
that being said,
It's a great resource.
that being said, as Utah Filmmakers Associates, whatever tools that we have are also at your disposal. If there is an event you would like to put on, there are some venues that will offer you a discount if you're associated with a nonprofit. We are a nonprofit, so we're helping with that. We splurged a bit on this venue. Whenever we do screenings, we've done a couple. I like to do it downtown at the library where they have that beautiful theater. And yeah, they waive the fee for us because we make it free to the public. And we can pay for every cat guy, and it's fun. That's where I propose to my wife. That's a whole other story. I won't bore you with this, but yeah, if there's anything you want to, I think I believe I set up an application page. I may have told you in the group. You should look in the group. Anyways, thank you all for coming. Bon appetit, please. Let's not force me to take all that food home. It smells delicious. And it gets more photos done. And thanks again, everyone.